Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to CBS News Minnesota Morning Update, streaming on the powerhouse, CBS News Minnesota. Good to have you with us. I'm Jason DeRusha. We stream the news here all day. You can get it on your TV if you have a smart TV. Ever hear of Pluto TV? It's free. You download it, and you just boop, 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 and here we are. We're on with your local news whenever you need it. So glad to have you hanging out with us. As usual, we stream this thing on Facebook and Twitter, and I think it's also on, it goes through your Target app. I don't know. We put this wherever we can, just so we can show you the weather. Here we go. A bit milder. This is the calm before the storm. Looks like we're mostly going to get slop, is what Riley is telling us in the forecast over the weekend. The changes will arrive overnight, so the moisture comes in, but Saturday morning is when we'll see. Well, if you're north, you'll see more freezing rain and sleet. If you're south, it'll be all rain, and then we'll see what happens. You might get thunder. Overnight Saturday, watch for the snow. So that's sort of what we're watching. It's kind of that line right between rain and snow and sleet and typical kind of March snow / whatever event. So be ready for that starting in the overnight hours. Let's get you up to date on this because it is the first Friday of Lent. Lent, of course, is the season before Easter. Christians commemorate, I guess not really celebrate, Lent. But Catholics especially are known for their Friday night fish fries.
It's big, and we take a lot of pride in our fish. So, we start preparing it Monday with just making sure we have, well over 200 pounds ready to go.
That's the owner of the House of Coats. You ever been to the House of Coats? It's right off of Highway 52, like if you're headed from the cities down to Rochester. It's in the Rosemount. Technically, it's Coats, but it's like a one-block town kind of deal. They're known for burgers, kind of iconic burgers. And on a normal day, they say they do about 150 burgers, and on a Friday during Lent, they do 10, because everybody's doing the fish fry. Church fish fries are sort of back as well, so that's good news. You can see they're just battering up that cod fresh. Good stuff. Yeah, a lot of churches didn't do fish fries during COVID, and they're back. They're back. So our question to you is this: where's the best fish fry? Where is your best Friday night fish fry? It could be a church. It could be a restaurant. I did one last night in downtown Minneapolis. I pre-gamed for Friday Lent, so I'll reveal my fish fry location where I was at last night at the end when we share your feedback. Let's talk about gasoline prices. As I drove to work today and saw at my gas station, my Holiday that I always fuel up at, it was $3.74, and I thought, here we go. And AAA putting the average price at $3.65 a gallon this morning. So if you see $3.65, my advice is to get it. It's up about $1 from this time last year. People all over the country are feeling the impact. Boy, in California, some drivers in LA are paying $6.45, $6.65 for regular. So Russia's invasion into Ukraine putting a strain on the global gasoline and oil market. For the first time in 5 years, Costco may raise the price of your membership. They're not saying how much, they're not saying what it's going to be, but they have not raised membership prices since 2017. They shared this information as Costco kind of released their quarterly earnings. They earned $1.3 billion. Costco makes a ton of money on memberships. If you have a membership that costs, I think they start at like $55 or $65, but do the math. You're like, whew, they make I read a story they make like $1 billion just in membership fees. Yeah, pretty crazy. So we'll see what happens there. According to Urban Sitter, which is one of these websites where you go on and you're like, I need a babysitter, and they connect you with a babysitter. And this is in urban areas, so definitely the prices they're seeing is higher than if you hire a kid from down the street. But the average cost for a babysitter went up 11% last year, $20 an hour. One child. Wow. Wow. Lots of reasons for this, right? Babysitters in high demand as more parents are going back to the office. But just in general, you have fewer kids working. So you don't have that kid who's able to do it, and instead you're paying an adult, and those adults are competing, they're in the mix for all of the other jobs that are paying 15, 16, 20 bucks an hour for a babysitter. Treat yourself. You deserve that night out, though. If you are a parent with a child in the Minneapolis or St. Paul school districts, and we're looking at combined, like those school districts, you get like 50 or 60,000 kids. There might be a teacher strike next week. Here are some emergency childcare options for you, but it's going to be a challenge. You're probably going to need to rely on friends and neighbors. But the YMCA preparing day programs for K through 5 at 3 metro locations if there's a strike. St. Paul Public Schools will open most elementary schools, and they'll have supervision in the schools for pre-K through 5th graders. MPS, Minneapolis, saying not going to have a lot of availability for that. They'll have help at a few school sites. There are also nanny services you could reach out to that provide temporary relief options, but that's not cheap, obviously. Full list of options for you at WCCO.com. Where else? Minnesota joining with several other states investigating TikTok. It's pretty interesting. TikTok is controlled by a Chinese company. They have management in the United States. But there's been research about how the TikTok algorithm is, feeding maybe harmful videos to kids who are really young. And some experts believe the technology promotes those kind of, depression or eating disorders, drug use, alcohol use. Minnesota Attorney General shares those concerns.
We have substantial reason to believe that the way they design their products and their service does invoke and sustain anxiety, stress.
I'm just scrolling. If I get any free time, it's like, oh, I'll just check TikTok. I follow people, or watch live videos or something like that. Yeah. So I'm kind of super addicted to it.
Ellison says parents who are concerned about their child using TikTok should call. Isn't that interesting? The Attorney General of the state of Minnesota is saying, parents, if you've got a TikTok kind of abusing kid, call the office. Pretty interesting. So they're preparing for a lawsuit is what they're doing. McDonald's being sued for nearly $1 billion over their soft serve ice cream machines. I love McDonald's soft serve ice cream. I have to tell you, a vanilla soft serve cone at McDonald's is a treat. But if you own a McDonald's, if you're a franchise operator, the machines notoriously are finicky. And so this company, Kitsch, created a remote device. You put it on the machine and it gives you an alert. It's like if you have in your sump pump, a remote thing that's hey, something's wrong. But McDonald's said the thing, it doesn't work very well and told all of the franchises to uninstall it. So they're disputing. They're in a big dispute over that. You probably don't care. It's just interesting that they have to have a device to monitor the ice cream machine. Health Watch. Do you believe this story or not? One glass of wine with a meal reduces your chance of diabetes by about 14%. Findings being presented at the American Heart Association conference. Look, every other story about alcohol is it helps, it doesn't, it helps, it doesn't. The reality is, overall, does alcohol improve your life when it comes to your health? No. Doctors caution if you drink alcohol, especially in excess, you have other health risks. But there you go. That's the latest on that. If you are having trouble sleeping, this is actually very useful information when it comes to the kind of exercise that might help you sleep better. Iowa State University, beautiful Ames, Iowa. Go, what is Cyclones? Go Cyclones. When it comes to exercise, if you resistance train, so kind of weight training or bands or whatever, you get 40 more minutes of sleep per night on average than people who don't exercise. Aerobic exercise, so if you do the treadmill or the bike, you do get a benefit, but it's half as much. So if you struggle with sleeping, maybe lifting some weights or doing some resistance training. Football season over. This story, I don't know. This story just gets to me. This high school coach who suddenly died, the way the community is coming together to honor him is just amazing. Friday Night Lights. It's part of Bruce Larson's life. It has been until he unexpectedly died. He's a coach in Somerset. and his son is a coach too, right? So this is the family legacy here. And his son asked schools all over to light up their stadium lights at 7 tonight in his honor. Somerset Community Gathering tonight as well to remember Coach Larson. Just goes to show you, like, I mean, you know, do we obsess on sports too much? Yes. There are other things that are important, other youth activities. But it is a reminder that these coaches, like Coach Larson, are transformative figures in the lives of young people and in the lives of communities. Somerset High School doing a visitation from 4 to 7. They'll go outside and turn on those lights. One more time in his honor. His funeral's tomorrow at 11 at Christ Lutheran Church. So grateful for all of the coaches out there, all the teachers who work with kids, whether it's football, whether it's theater, whatever the case may be. But really great to see how Somerset is coming together. How about this heartwarming discovery? This story is so cute. A local doctor cleaning out his basement last month, and he finds, well, here's the story. Dr. Tracy Powell, that's him. He's an emergency medicine physician. Every once in a while, he works in the ER with his physician assistant, Mariah Novosinski. And, you know, when you're a doctor, it's kind of cool because as you continue working, if you stay in the same community, you're going to end up working with people that, like, maybe you treated. And Dr. Powell actually delivered Mariah and was her childhood doctor. And look what he found. He found these drawings that Mariah, because Mariah was the patient, and this is her doctor, and she drew all of these adorable little watercolors, and oh my gosh, isn't it cute? This is from when she was his patient all those years ago.
I stuck him in my bag, knowing I would work with Mariah there. She comes in as a PA, I'm a physician there, and we work together side by side. And I pulled these out of my bag and I laid them on the table and I go, Mariah, you aren't gonna believe this. Look what I found. And she covered her mouth and she said, oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
So fun. They still, they work together every couple of months. They end up on the same rotation. It's pretty cool. Dolly Parton has some new music out this morning. She just released a new album. Here's a little taste.
Run, 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 run.
All right, there's the album Run, Rose, Run, 12 songs on it, and it's based on a book that Dolly co-authored with mystery writer James Patterson. The novel, Run, Rose, Run, it's a thriller around a young singer-songwriter with a dark past and how that singer connects with a jaded icon. Book comes out Monday. Dolly's hosting the Academy of Country Music Awards on Amazon Prime Video that same day. It's Friday during Lent. We're asking you, where's your favorite Friday fish fry? It's hard to say, Friday fish fry. Jenny Stapleton, St. Tim's in Coon Rapids has good fish fry. I've heard about that one, Jenny. I try to go to as many fish fries all around the area as possible. My wife and kids sometimes they're like, we're driving where? I'm like, Church Fish Fry. Jack Walton, St. Jerome's in Maplewood. Never done that one. Thanks, Jack. It's a good tip. Pam? Hey, Pam likes the Filet-O-Fish. Years ago, we would stop at Charlie's in Freeport for all-you-can-eat fish on the way to the cabin. Nice. You know, there are some fast food fish sandwiches that I like. McDonald's is not. That was my favorite as a kid, and I went and revisited it as an adult. Maggie, Merlin's Rest. Underrated restaurant, Merlin's Rest in Minneapolis. Great Scotch selection there, great bourbon selection. Becky Altoff, fish fry at Majestic Oaks. Very nice. Thanks, Becky. Mary Love, the Coon Rapids VFW. You cannot beat a VFW fish fry or a Legion. The Wayzata Legion is very good. Thanks, Mary. I told you I'd reveal where I went to fish fry last night. O'Donovan's, right in downtown Minneapolis, right in the shadow of Target Center, right next to, well, I believe it's just a place where women like to dance. It's a bit of a club for dancing. O'Donovan's, the cod, fantastic. Very, very good. So good stuff. Enjoy your fish fries tonight. Thanks for watching the CBS News Minnesota Morning Update. Appreciate it. Have a nice weekend. Good luck with the slop as that flies around. We'll keep you updated on the streamer all weekend long, and then I'll be back with you on Monday.